Okay, so we're going to go over this new evolution. It's called Power Surge. Now, to be completely honest, I don't think it's amazing. I made this video before, but I'm remaking it again. You know, you do get the boost. It's actually better for these silver cards that you may like. But yeah, it can improve dribbling and passing for some of these cards. Because the defending is capped, um, at 77, it's effectively useless, to be honest. But I mean, like, you can see, for example, if I put someone like Gomez in, just for example, right? All that he's getting realistically here is just a bit of a dribbling boost. So maybe to improve agility balance of an existing player. But apart from that, there's literally nothing. I mean, I'm looking here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some custom filters. I'm going to do 80, just to show you, in case you're wondering like what's going on here. The website is currently crashing. But if I go to evolution and I go to power surge, and I go to evolve players, there's literally no one there. No one that's worth mentioning is what I want to say. Maybe there's a few cards that you might have that you like, but what we're going to do is we're just going to filter this, because I think the main thing here is you can get the agility and balance up of some of these players. So let's say you want a centre back, and they haven't necessarily got the best agility and balance, for example, right? And while that's loading, we're going to look at Footbin's popular page. We can let it load. You might have to skip towards the end of the video. But yeah, like there's nothing really notable. As you can see here. Okay, there's Lamos. She's okay. Lemos, if you want to go all the way, she's got 86 sprint speed. But is Rubinson better than her? So to be honest, to go through all this faff and then you're paying 50k, it's not worth it. Maybe this is one. Onyeka's the only one that's decent, because his one at least got 93 sprint speed, 81 defense awareness, good agility and balance, and good physicality, and good short passing. Maybe this is one that you probably, I would say, wait. So this is not really one to do right now. This is more of like an evolution to wait. There could be something that we can do one evolution and then stack that with another player, for example, later on. But yeah, there's some okay mediocre. So I'll be honest, if you're looking at this evolution thinking, oh, who can I do? The way that I see this, honestly, I mean, there's actually a few cards. Hang on, she's okay. Actually, she's actually okay. 85 pace, 83 defense awareness. Okay, so she gets a pretty decent boost, presumably so, because she had. So actually, she's actually one. Thies Ferreira is actually a decent card. It's trying to find these gems like this. I'm trying to have a look at anyone else really notable here. There's another one, Giulia Bianchi. There's a Nelly. Okay, so there is actually quite a few, but there's no one really. We've got Pavlovic. Again, I've filtered the stats now to the most important stats. So these are probably the better ones, should I say. Okay, so now, okay, so with these parameters that I've searched, now things are opening up per se. But a lot of these players are going to be short as well. In fact, let's go Major League. So what we're going to do is we're going to go leagues. We're going to go Premier League. Anyone in the Premier League that is notable here? I'm going to go EA Sports. I'm going to go Serie A. We're going to go Bundes. And then we're going to go McDonald's. Always call it McDonald's. Okay, so apart from this guy, do you have anyone else? And Yeka, we know we're going to select this guy because he looks all right, actually. Perron looks decent. Lavia, actually, Lavia looks pretty good. Lavia actually looks a pretty good card. Decore. Kalulu. So Kalulu gets the upgrade as well, actually. Durian Timber. So these are only slight upgrades, by the way, on a lot of these cards. Only a slight upgrade on some of these cards. Onyeka. Okay, so with the parameters, okay, so she is okay. Onyeka is probably one of the better cards. He's actually decent, to be honest. He's got a lot of play styles. 83 short passing, 83 long passing. You know what? Like, I'm not saying you're gonna go all the way, but let's say you had a favorite card like Testman. Let's say, I don't know, you supported Leon. This might not be a bad option. 80 defense awareness, 81 sprint speed, decent passing, good physicality. Thies Ferreira is looking at one of the better ones. Because she can play centre back as well. She's 5'5" though. She's too short for centre back, but she can play centre mid. Julia Bianchi, she's actually okay as well. She's actually pretty decent. She can do a bit of everything. So if you're looking for the National Women's Super League, it's actually not a bad option either. 81 defense, 85 sprint speed. But you could argue someone like Crystal Dunn. This is where the argument comes in. This guy, he's okay, good dribbling, and this is where, like, if you're asking me personally speaking, someone like Crystal Dunn, she already has those stats and she's tradable. So so again, unless you really like some of these cars, like she's okay. She's 5'7", not the best. He's okay. I thought he was a bit better, but he's okay. Lauren, she's actually pretty decent. She's 5'10", That's actually not a bad card, 86 defensive awareness. I think this is the real gem here. She's 80. Okay, check this out. She's 86 defensive awareness and 85 sprint speed. So she can actually play in centre back. She's got 87 short passing. So don't get me wrong, she's not going to be like some incredible person. But with that agility balance, that might be a card that's worth doing. The only thing is you have to then go Sprint Supreme, Intro to Stats, and Power Surge. How many people have already done these two already is probably very high. She's actually got some very good stats. In fact, you know what? I might just post that. She's actually very decent. More of a reminder. So, that's actually not a bad card. Carla Andres, she's actually not too bad. She's 5'7". She got the holding plus, as I mentioned. Lauren, she looks good. Maria Mendez looks okay. 5'8". He looks okay. He actually looks pretty decent. He can play center, mid, and CDM. Look at that agility and balance, though. 5'10". And he has holding plus, and maybe for La Liga, maybe this is actually a very good option. Stamina at 84. That's actually not a bad option for La Liga. So now we're actually finding the secret cards. Again, these are a long path to do these. He's okay. He's a bit too slow, realistically. Perone is decent. Lavia is actually not too bad, actually, to be honest. But you're going to be spending 50k. So when you're buying a car, so this is my general rule of thumb. You need to compare a car like this to Tonali. So Tonali you can get for 50k, right? So let's assuming you did the Octopus that cost 50k, right? As an example for Lavia. You got to compare. So you can see Tonali already aces most of these stats. The agility and balance is very much the same. So to be honest, this card, Lavia, is probably not worth it because you got less playstyles. Okay, maybe you have one better short pass or one better agility, which no one is going to notice, may I add. So yeah, you're wasting your money. Unless you really like that card. Parisi is a bit different. Barella is probably even better. Kalulu is very interesting, but he's only got 80 defensive awareness. Timber. Now that's actually not a bad card, actually. That Duran Timber is one of the better cards. You know what? We need to maybe even go a bit further here. Let's turn. We're gonna now change this a bit more. We're gonna go back to the first page. We're gonna put the sprint speed to 82. We're gonna put the defense awareness for 82. What about here? So we can see have we got anyone here? This is how I find the gems, by the way. Got this guy here. Ito. He looks okay. Calcero looks okay. Chowdhury actually looks pretty decent. Let's have a quick look at him. Klosterman gets that boost as well. What we're going to do now, so I'm just going to reduce the... I'm now going to make a change now. So what I will do is I'm going to reduce it. We're going to get rid of the agility and balance. And see, does that open anyone up? So you apply the filters now. So you've got Timber. We know about Timber. This guy looks all right. We'll have a look at him. Decore. Is there anyone else that I'm missing? Anyone? I'm having this quick look. Ito, he looks all right. 6'2", actually, he's not too bad. With the shadow. So the key is trying to find someone who can play the CDM position. That's what's key. That's too much to do, but it's not a bad card though. Look at that. 84 sprint speed, 83 defensive awareness. that's actually a very good card because he can play a false back plus and he can play a holding plus. But it's going to cost you 50k. That's the only downside. Chowdhury is actually not a bad option. Look at that. It's actually not a bad option. Look. So there are a few of these gems. But you're really going to need to find them. I'm just going to post on Twitter so I just don't forget about them. But yeah, there are some of these few gems. But I think you're going to need to find them. Another cup in the Premier League. Again, maybe you could argue a Tonali is better than this card anyway. So we're not going to really add that card in. Decore looks okay. Onyeka we know is good. Vice Forever looks good. She looks good. Lauren, she looks the best, I would say. And you have Duran Timber. Duran Timber looks up there. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. You can see my video performing bad. No problem with that. Anything else? I don't think there's anything else here. I mean, we can maybe try to get rid of the defensive awareness. Maybe we can go for attack. You know what? Let's go to just Footbin popular page. Let's see what's popular on Footbin. Because I want to be honest, there isn't really that much apart from those. I can't really see there being anyone else. So we got Mainu, Endrick, Alejandro, Doku, Ansu Fati, Kone, Gomez. I saw Gomez already. Lacroix, Sanchez. We saw Gravenberch. I've already seen Neres. So I'm just looking at the attacking players here. This one I've already seen, and I'm upset because I've already started him. Okay, let's have a look at some of the popular ones here. So Todibo, yeah, we know about, but the defense awareness is probably a bit lacking. His natural defense awareness is lacking, and he doesn't get the upgrade. Yeah, Mainu becomes a bit better, I suppose, if you full stack him, but doesn't even include it. Werner, I don't think it's worth it. Hendrick, now this is actually not a bad option because it gets the agility and balance, gets the passing, gets the physical, gets the shooting. So it's, if you were gonna do Hendrick, so these are the ones the small ones. But again, like you have a lot. I would say this whole power surge one, you got to be careful. I would say honestly, if you're still watching at this point, don't rush to do this because there's so many stacks that could happen eventually. So I would recommend doing evolutions on the last day because there's actually so many cards here that could get stacked pretty well. I'm just seeing. I don't think there's anything else really that anyone's really notably mentioned. It's Kwanzaa, Gusto. We actually gonna have a quick look at because Gusto, Lo Celso, Wan-Bissaka, Ronaldo, we know Fella. She gets a little bit of boost. I mean, apart from the obvious ones, let's have a look at Gusto. So Gusto's defense awareness goes up, but then at this point, you know, it's not a bad one. But like, you know, look at someone like Udogi, for example, and you could argue naturally he's got those stats anyway. Adams is okay. No, he's terrible actually. No, he's not terrible. He's got 77 sprint speed. I saw 85 sprint speed, and I got excited. Lo Celso is okay. Wan-Bissaka is okay. Not the best defense awareness. I mean, that is basically it. There's no one really notable here. Doku, Ansu Fati, Kone. And we know about Gomez. He's making his sprint speed a bit faster. I mean, maybe you can stack it, for example, but like that. But I mean, power surge and club member. I mean, that's assuming that you haven't done a club member already. See, this is why you don't want to rush to do these evolutions. There's so many options that Lacroix is defense awareness is too slow. All right, so in terms of meta cards, there isn't anyone. This is the one that I don't have Sprint Supreme, but I think that's a waste of time anyway. But that might not be a bad option. I don't think there's anyone really notable crazy here. I'd say his Lauren one is all right. Maybe one to save. I would say this is the one where, not now, but in a few weeks' time, there's going to be some crazy combo. And for example, it will turn, what I mean by that combo, it will turn, for example, Julian Timber and it will give, you know, let's say plus 85 defense awareness to a center back, for example, something like that. Then this card can get stacked. That's where I see a card like this. So if you are going to do it, maybe on a Timber, maybe on one of those Premier League worthy cards, or some of these off leagues if you really want to, but or even Chowder is not too bad, but I wouldn't hastily do this one. My NealGuides top tips. Thanks for watching. Take it easy and I'll catch you next time. Peace.